Let's first take a look at how the Asian markets have started off this morning, and it's a relatively mixed picture compared to the handover that we received from Wall Street overnight. The Hang Seng is down just around 0.25%. The Taiwanese index up by a similar quantum. The underperformance is coming from the Korean Kospi, which is down around 0.5%. But most of the other indices, though, barring the Nikkei, which is up over 650 points as we speak, most of the other indices continue to remain below the flat line, including the Shanghai Composite and of course the Hang Seng. So it's a mixed picture. Barring Japan, most of the other indices are trading with a bit of a cautious tone. We'll pull up the GIF Nifty and I'll give you an idea of how our own markets are likely to start off. Well, after that recovery that we saw towards the close of yesterday's trading session, the implied open is currently suggesting almost a 70-point downtick as we speak. But to set you up for today's trade, we are here to tell you about the trade setup, the stocks that you should be watching out for, and of course cues from the F&O side of things as well. And just as I mentioned at the start of the show, a very important session lies ahead of us, and I'll tell you why. This the weekly expiry of the Sensex contracts. Not just that, it's the start of Russian President Vladimir Putin's India visit. It's the final trading day before the RBI policy tomorrow, and the final trading day for HUL as a consolidated entity before the record date of its demerger that takes place tomorrow. But the bulls would have gone into today's session with some hope because of the recovery that you saw from lower levels. The Nifty was up almost 100 points. The Nifty Bank recovered 420, but that is because of the private banking names, the HDFC Bank, the ICICI Bank, Axis Bank. All of them contributed to the recovery that was seen in yesterday's trading session. What held out in yesterday's session was the IT names. They were the ones that kept the Nifty losses in check for a better part of the trading session, and then it was the private banks that led the recovery towards the close of trade. The IT stocks were up, of course, because of the rupee. Another record low that it made yesterday, 90.29, then saw some support coming in and closed at 90.19. So that remains a key monitorable today. The Nifty again defended last week's lows of 25.850. So that is an important level to watch. Yesterday's low of 25.891 is an important level to watch. 26,000 on the upside, of course, followed by 2600, 26,150. That will be important to watch on the upside, and 59,500 for the Nifty Bank. So all in all, some important session that lies ahead. The GIF Nifty, though, is indicating a gap down start. We'll ask Sudarshan in just a bit whether you could see some recovery in towards the close of trade. Over to Upasna now, who would list out the stocks that should be on your radar today. Upasna, good morning. What's on your list?
Well, good morning, Hormaz. Firstly, let me start with Petronet LNG. The company enters a 15-year ethane unloading, storage and handling services pact with ONGC, and here the company expects gross revenue of about 5,000 crore over a period of 15 years. Next up is IEX. On the back of its November update, the electricity traded volume were up 17.7% on a year-on-year basis. Next up is RailTel. The company's received work order from MMR region, that is Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority, for a project amounting to rupees 48.7 crores. Next up is RVNL. Company receives LOA for 145 crore from Southern Railway. Next up is Godavari Power and Ispat. The company gets consent order for additional 2 MTPA iron ore capacity. With this, the company's total capacity has increased from 2.7 to 4.7 MTPA. Next up is JK Cement. The company at its Panna plant commissioned 3.3 MNTPA clinker line 2. With this, the capacity of the clinker has increased to 6.6. Next up is Biocon. It will be in focus as the board meeting is scheduled on 6th of December for an investment in Biocon Biologics, and even a fundraiser is what the company is eyeing on. Next up is Pine Labs. It will be in focus on the back of its Q2 numbers. Optically, the numbers look positive. The revenue is up 18% on a one-year basis, while on sequentially 5.5% growth is seen. PAT stood at 6% versus a revenue versus 5 crores. And next up is Translane Lighting. NCLT Mumbai dismisses the petition filed with Goodrich Logistics. So all in all, we'll be watching out for all these stocks in our today's trading session.
Upasna, thank you for that update. Over to Sudarshan now for cues from the F&O space. Sudarshan, good morning. You're spot on with that recovery comment that you made yesterday morning. What's the F&O data indicating today?
More than yesterday, today it seems like that we are heading for a tough session. In all probability, we are going to fall for the 5th straight day, because F&O cues are suggesting that FIs have heavily on the short side, and they continue to increase the positions on the short side. Look at the flows in the index futures. Yesterday also, they have sold more than rupees 2,600 crore. They have reduced their long positions by 1,100 contracts. But look at the short side. They have added short positions of more than 12,500 contracts. Now the longs exposure has reduced to 16%. When we had started the week, longs exposure was around 18 to 19%. On the short side, the exposure remains around 86%. Look at the options data. All the major call options have seen a fall in the premium. 26,000, 26,100. Both these call options have seen a fall in the premium. On the put side, the most active option was 25,900. So 25,900 remains the important support. If we slip below that, next support comes around 50-day moving average of 25,600. Resistance remains around the record high of 26,315. For Nifty Bank, yesterday Nifty Bank along with IT, these two packs helped market to recover at the last hour of the trade. So support for Nifty Bank 58,850. Resistance remains around the record high of 59,900. One stock that remains in the band is Samant Capital. I have taken 4 stocks, 2 stocks, Biocon and APL Apollo have been seeing fresh longs, and Hitachi and Colgate have been seeing fresh shorts.
Sudarshan, thank you for that update. Then